Insidious, 2010 Insidious, part 1. It's actually part 3, but it's the first one to come out. But before we get into that, I got something I need to say.
What's up, bro?
Let me
Speak
lower
on
the
it.
music. We're not going to start the intro or anything like that. I want to say I was wrong.
What?
It's recording right here. I was wrong, and I want to make sure that there's a file of this, and I just want to point out that we were talking about The Nun, and I was like, oh yeah, The Nun. We find out later on it's a guy. Nope, it was Insidious. The creepy lady in Insidious. When you watch the next part, you find out it's actually a guy dressed as a lady. I mean, the actor is a guy, but the character is also a guy.
What?
Yeah. I was wrong.
My mind is
That's
not blown right now.
I am not either. I understand. See, that's the dedication Josh has to this, that he wants to, put it all out there, just be so thorough and everything else like that, man. And it's just like, man, he just leaves it all on the table. And man, that's what makes Cast of the Pod so good. That's what makes us so good.
Yes.
On the cool, I watched the second half of Insidious today. Excuse me. And I noticed, I forgot that there was two others, and I've seen them before years ago. Not like
Whoa.
first...
Hold on, player.
Four others.
Hold on. Slow down. We going too fast.
Too furious.
It's just this movie we want to talk about it. We really want to talk about it.
I know, but so if we got to do the one thing, baby, let Josh please hit the intro then.
Warning. This podcast is about the horror genre, specifically horror films. As most horror movies are filled with coarse language, violence, and/or gore, the topics and language of the cast of the pod will also reflect the genre. If you have any issues with the aforementioned warnings, please press stop. However, if you have no issue with adult language, movie violence, or the accoutrement that accompanies horror films, please feel free to continue. You have been warned.
Yeah, I'm skipping out past the part where it says castofthepod.com. All the social medias are Cast of the Pod. Unless you want to hit up Cobweb at Cobweb411 on Instagram. And Cantu.
The Paul Gorman SA Gmail.
There you go.
That's what's up.
I'd like to thank everybody that didn't send the email after the last episode I appeared on.
But you get used to it.
Word up. It was like, yeah, there's nothing. Word, this is dope. I love this feeling. Now, if I could only make my bills do the same thing and not holler at me, we'll be good to go.
Well, technically, that episode is only played for the patrons. So tonight, which is Tuesday night at midnight going to Wednesday, that episode will hit. So next week, when you don't have any emails from any listeners, then we'll just say this over again. We'll recycle this part.
Word up, the unpatrons.
Yeah. They sometimes they cross over. Sometimes they cross over.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Shout out to the Patron Club 3P. Y'all rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time for another Cobweb giveaway. Yeah, hit me up. Hit me up if you need a Patreon subscription for this month. Hit me up. Just say hi. And I got you.
Good stuff. I've got a spoiler alert for everybody. Chucky did not call this week.
He was scared. Probably.
I called him and I told him, I was like, Insidious. And he was like, nope. I was like, Chucky, come on. He's like, nope. So
on the cool, he was a surprise to me last week when you broke out the phone call and I listened to him. And he sounded kind of weird. And I was like, okay. I mean, he knows my name. He heard what I said from the previous episode and whatnot. And then a few nights ago, I saw somebody just creeping around in my gas tank. And I was like, you're making a really big mistake right now. He was like, it's me. And then he ran away.
Oh, shit.
That sounds just
So,
like him.
so I mean, showing up,
Did damn, didn't it? I can see him in everything, right? It was like a
Showing
vivid. It was in my mind. It was like a movie.
He was like a gremlin. He was like, he had his hoodie had holes in it, but it wasn't quite crackheadish, just like somebody who's been in
Shit.
college freshman year in the dorms for a very long time, just worn out, and mom and dad got no support him. But he's not on crack. He just broken a motherfucker. I don't know what he was doing in my gas tank. I didn't get any extra miles, and there was no extra gas in the tank. It looked like he was smelling it. I mean, but he took off. You know what I mean?
Knowing Chucky,
It was all
he was
peaceful.
looking. He was probably looking at your gas tank for copper wiring
Or
in your gas.
might have been making sure
Copper
that my
wiring.
strain of fuel grade was correct. I like to think
Oh,
positive
Lord.
about him.
Hey, now that we got QTs down here, we got that non corn oil, non ethanol gas. Good stuff.
What's that?
What?
What are you talking
Don't
about?
even start with your electric thingamajig.
What are you talking about? I don't understand. What's this stuff you guys talking about?
You
This
just
foreign
you
energy.
40-something years.
This old
with
technology.
gasoline.
Oh, that's what you guys are using. Those hitting your heads with those shovels. Like
I just go to the gas pump, fill up,
Okay.
take off.
I got
do
four
some-
dudes
do-
in the back pushing really, really hard.
You know what it's
You know-
like? I equivalate this to what they used to say back in the day when people were like, oh man, you got to get a gas for that vehicle to go. All I have to do is just, my horse gets tired. I just let it mosey over there and eat some grass on the side of the road.
This is what I got to do. Look, I do
You
300.
get it, don't you?
No. Look. I do 380 miles, and then I stop at a gas station, and 4 minutes or less later, there's another 380 miles I can do. I'm just saying. I'm not saying nothing about no environment. I'm not saying nothing about rare earth materials or nothing like that. I'm just saying
It doesn't take us an hour.
every almost 400 miles I got to do, that's 4 minutes at the gas station.
What's the corn oil though?
The ethanol.
Oh,
Yeah, so QT has non-ethanol gas. Just yeah.
I mean, it's
This
not that really.
This
You know,
podcast
I
not
just
brought
did
to you
it.
by QT.
Yeah, well, I just did a trip up to the Dells, right, with the wife, and I had to. That was like a pretty good drive, and I had to refuel during that trip. So all I had to do was, like, at a certain point, I just packed out on the map, like, bam, I needed to hit a spot, and it just coordinated it in with the route. And then at that point, because it was pretty fast charging, it only took me like maybe 30 minutes or something like that to recharge enough to get back to home and have enough to go for a while longer. So it's not really as long as you guys really think. And besides, it gives you time to stretch your legs. If you're driving that far along, you might as well stretch your legs if you get to the gas station.
so you think that hanging around for 30 minutes to charge your vehicle isn't long?
That's what I was gonna say. I was like 4 minutes.
If you're doing
5 minutes
60
tops, and we
miles
can go
an
inside
hour
soda or
average,
something.
that's 30 miles that you're not moving while you're sitting around waiting to get charged. That's another half an hour of driving, doing 60.
Yeah. I mean, if you really want to go, I mean, yeah. I mean,
I don't got that kind of patience. That's not why I don't have an electric vehicle.
because of the charge time.
That's just not a benefit. I don't see that as a, hey, yeah, no. Nope.
Hey, I'm not knocking you for it. I'm just saying 4 minutes, almost 400 miles, I'm good.
100 miles a
All
minute.
right.
That sounds
I'm
like a
sorry.
good deal.
That's 26 less minutes I don't have to worry about having to possibly shoot a crackhead for bothering me.
You know how much I've probably spent on fuel for my car for the whole year? I would say maybe $50.
Ooh, that sounds sweet. That's
Yes.
under
And that's
$10 a month.
That's like basically like if I have to go to like that's like going on someplace where I'm not charging it. Like if I'm going to like on that trip or something like that, or going out of state somewhere or something. Yeah.
Well, we're in Texas, and from one side of San Antonio to the other side of San Antonio is about 70 miles. Um,
Easy.
Yeah, we'd have to be charging.
140 miles round trip just to go to the other side of town and come back.
Don't get no friends.
You can do that.
Just,
You can
just hang out
you
in
can
the
do that
neighborhood,
easy.
yo.
You can do that easy. Just go
I
home,
do.
charge it,
I
put it back in, get up in the morning, do the same thing again.
I stop at QT, get a hot dog with sauerkraut, and like a
Damn,
coconut.
are you okay? You on them gas station hot dogs?
Oh, dude,
Hey,
QT
if you
is
want to
awesome,
talk,
bro.
if you want to hit pause on the record and talk for a little bit, bro, we could do that. You on the gas station hot dogs?
Yes.
Hey, don't. Hey,
100%.
QT is awesome, man. QT, hey, I know for a fact.
No, hold on.
Gas
Even though
station
I
hot dogs?
even though I love QT, fuck QT. They did not sponsor this podcast. That's the only reason I'm saying that. I love them.
I understand. I understand. I understand.
And
All
I
right, so
don't
we're
think
talking
they
about
sponsor good hot dogs.
And we supposed to be
Yeah,
talking about
really
Insidious.
good hot dogs, pizza,
That's what we.
after this
sandwiches,
podcast, I'm gonna go get
Sundays.
You know what's
After-
insidious? Gas station hot dogs.
Oh no. All right. Supernatural horror, suspense, mystery, 1 hour, 43 minutes. A family looks to prevent evil spirits from trapping their comatose child in a realm called the Further. That's a lame ass description. Directed by James Wan, and he did a whole you know what he's done?
One
Saw
more
2,
movie.
Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, Saw 3D, Annabelle, Demonic, Insidious Chapter 3, Conjuring 2, Lights Out, that's a good movie, Annabelle Creation, which we just talked about, Jigsaw, Insidious Last Key, The Nun, The Curse of La Llorona, Annabelle Comes Home, the TV series The Swamp Thing. Hold on. Spiral, but we won't hold that against him. That horrible ass Chris Rock Saw movie.
That was pretty bad.
Yes, Malignant. So he knows his Aquaman, King of Atlantis.
He's a company
Malignant
man.
was tight.
He's a company man.
Malignant was tight.
He set the vibe pretty much.
Megan or M3 Gan. I heard somebody actually call it that the other day. M3 Gan. It's like, no, it's Megan. It's just they Megan. They flipped the E around, but nope.
Those are those people that they're still signing up. They got the disc for AOL to get on the internet. I got to check my email. Where do I put the disc?
So the one of the most important things that he did, besides Night Swim, which we talked about here on Cast of the Pod, Samurai Rabbit, the Usagi Chronicles.
I got some
Usagi
catching up to do.
You know what I mean?
I have never even heard about that, bro. I have never. That's the first time you ever talked about that junk. Don't be fronting on me like that,
Man.
please. We supposed to be talking about Insidious anyway, dude.
So
When do we ever talk about
when
the
do we
movie?
go straight? Shout out to Big Sean. Sean he posted in Club 3P, and he was like, oh, great episode, covered everything. Everything.
Right. But this movie right here, I think that it does justify some real deep in it too, because it really, the way they dropped it like this, like you was right in the middle of this story, because this thing had to be written completely all the way straight through, from beginning to end. And they did a straight George Lucas and just said, bam, we just going to drop it just like that. Because the way the story,
the movie or the series?
the whole series of movies, Insidious, the whole franchise.
No, the same thing that they did with the Matrix. They stole that lady's script, made that one badass movie, and then that badass movie made a bunch of money. And they're like, "Oh, do you have stuff that happens, on the other part of the Matrix world, or is you have stuff for sequels and prequels?" And they were like, yeah." And that's why they weren't as good as the first one, because they just lied out their ass after allegedly stealing that story from that lady.
This is very true.
The
I've
mother
heard
of
this too. But we have to remember that. Oh, listen to me. We have to be careful with that.
allegedly.
Allegedly, be
We're
careful,
covered.
because Big Brother they be listening about that. They squash any stories about that. I ain't gonna front. You try to look that stuff up, and all of a sudden you have to go on like on the black web or that shit to get that info. Media is a motherfucker, bro.
Is that like Black Twitter? I'm not allowed to go there no more.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah.
My hashtag got taken away.
Oh,
Yeah.
Talk to me later. I think I can get that back.
Oh, okay.
I got a couple of coupons.
You got an extra card I can borrow?
Yeah, I got you. I got a punch.
Oh shit! So I just want to say that I just realized that this little kid Dalton. If I don't have to hear Dalton over and over again, I'll be fine. He's the kid. He's the kid from Iron Man 3. He's a little smart kid that makes a potato gun in Iron Man.
Yeah, he did look familiar.
And then
speaking of that kid, I got a question for you. Guys. At what point would you have said, if you were the father, I'm good, I'm going to go pick up a pack of cigarettes, I'll be back?
He did a couple of times. He was out. He was out a couple of times.
He's like, I have to stay at school till midnight, grading tests and paperwork.
He was like in like a high school or something shit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the most fictional thing in this whole damn movie, because there is not one custodian that's gonna let you stay at the school till midnight. They will kick you out. You don't mess with those ladies. They will hurt you. They will hurt you. And all due respect, if you ever like look at the hierarchy of a school, like the person in charge is like the superintendent, then the superintendent's assistant, and then the custodians, and then all the deputy assistant, whatever bullshits and all that. But the hierarchy, custodians are number 3. Don't fuck with those ladies. They know. You're not staying in class till midnight.
I was wondering about
sleeping.
His commitment to the mission. And then they were like, yo, we got to leave this house. And they got a whole new house. And then she was like, you don't believe me. You don't believe me. He was like, bitch, I bought you a new house.
Man, I'm all telling you.
Like, why are you telling me that?
Enough to get you a new house.
We got a whole new address behind this, and you think that I don't believe you? Oh, man.
Didn't want to hear her complaining. That's all. He didn't believe her.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
must be nice to do that. To just be like, yo, you know what? There's ghosties here. Let's move right now. And then it's like right now it happened. And then she forgot that he made that happen.
Yeah, I think that would have been it for me.
I just thought of something.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to open a door that I probably shouldn't be opening, but I'm going to open it regardless, because we're all grown folks here and everybody's been warned, and it's not the red door.
You're going to allegedly open a door.
Allegedly. It's the Eddie Murphy Black People's Door. Do you remember in Eddie Murphy Delirious when he was talking about how you couldn't make the Amityville horror film with black people? Because he was like, oh, the school district's great. We're getting a great price on here. You know, the interest rate's not going to be very high. Get out. Too bad we can't stay.
Boom.
That's what they did. That's what they did.
Exactly. That is exactly what they did. They got up and bolted.
The first family that I've ever seen do that, though.
Yeah, in a movie.
Yeah, they took it serious. And she was fronting on them in that.
I don't want to be here. We need to leave. I don't want to be here tonight. He says we're going.
Let me tell you something. When that little I would have slapped the shit out that little boy. The little Joker boy that was walking around, little Dutch boy and shit like that, when he was hiding in the corner. Man.
First time I'm sorry, my bad.
Go ahead, Josh.
No, the first time we saw this in the theater back in the day was me, Deb, and Chuckles. And we saw it. And like there was no warnings, there was no reading IMDb, looking for the little hidden characters and all that. And the whole theater, it was packed. And we were like the front row, the ones where you're looking up and your neck's all broken and all that because you're looking straight up at the screen. And everybody in the theater, as soon as she just walked by and he just had his little Dutch boy nose in the corner with the hat on and all that, everybody in the theater was like, ah! Like, and then kind of like got quiet, like, oops, my bad. But then it was everybody simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw it again last night and then again today.
And it scared you again, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Honestly, tell the truth. I'm sorry, Deb.
No,
I had
Go ahead, Cobb. Go.
I had actually watched it with Erica, right? A couple, was it like last weekend? And she said that she never saw the kid over there before. She said she never saw him. She said, "You never saw that?" She says, "No, what are you talking about?" I said, "You didn't see him in the corner over there?" And she's like, "No." And she's seen that movie like I don't know how many times.
Well, that's cool. That's cool when you see something so many times. Go ahead.
That's the expertise of why this guy, when he's making these movies, it's demonstrative of the expertise, because there's people that are in the scenes in the movies that aren't catching what that one person is catching, and it's happening to the audience. And it's like, yo, you didn't see little Dutch boy in there with the little hat and the ribbon and everything? Those should have been, they were practically clogs. Those 1895 woodworking shoes. You know what I mean? They were the Santa Claus elf ones, and
Elf one.
they did the skedaddle, and the kid was in the scene, and some people didn't catch it, and it's not until you explain to somebody, go back and see it, and you go and see it, and then boom. So they're expecting to see it, and it's still scary. The framing of these movies is beautiful, man. Not necessarily the storytelling, not in particular with this movie, but the scares. You miss it the first time. If you go back and watch the movie again, you're going to be like, oh shit. Anyways, yeah, this is nicely done. Except for when they went to the upside down. But we could talk about that later.
The Further.
I would have.
That's what they were going to call this movie originally, The Further. I'm glad they called it Insidious, because The Further, people would have been like, meh. Well, I mean, we know that not what The Further is, but nobody knew at that time. And I think the name would have.
I don't know, but I'm getting a little freaked out right now.
Looking at the right here on the screen.
No,
man. Let me tell you something. When old girl got up and slapped her in the face,
opening.
Oh yeah, your curtain keeps on opening there, Cantu. Yes.
Oh, Dutch boy's back there. I got him back there.
Oh shit.
Yeah. See, she pointed it out. Y'all didn't see it. He's gonna pop out later with them long, crusty ass pseudo leather shoes from 1857.
What were you saying, Cobweb?
I don't even remember anymore.
I'm sorry.
So look, so those of you who have not seen this movie,
Shut up.
and for our
Shut up.
I remember.
You'll be quiet.
Go ahead, Josh. What's going on?
I just had Ilian Gonzalez flashbacks right now.
Without the SWAT team member,
the youngsters wouldn't get that, but yeah,
they wouldn't get
but
that.
For those that hadn't seen this movie, and for our listeners that have gone through, I don't know if you know that, but we have a bunch of listeners that aren't necessarily horror fans. They just like our banter and you know, and what you know
the chits, the chats, the whatnots. Heard.
Yes, exactly. And this is I would not recommend this to anyone who gets the willies, the ghostesses or anything like that, because this movie is scary. It has jump scenes, and it has like anticipation, the buildup of stuff going on, and then it also has soundtrack. Like body horror. Yes, that's what I was working towards, Deb. No, don't be sorry. Exactly. I think they use like 30 or 40 violins, it said on MDib, just to do the entrance. The intro.
Yeah.
The scoring
will cause you anxiety. It will cause you anxiety.
The scoring was fantastic, man. The scoring was a movie in itself. You could play the score from this movie in real time, just in your ears alone, and you're not going to be able to sleep. It's telling a story, and it's telling the story that you're watching. These movies, so I need to stop talking about how well put together these movies are, except when they get to the upside down. But yeah, man, it's
no. Please feel gold.
The creepies, the crawlies, the jitters, the scaries, the jump scares, the freak outs. I would imagine that somebody who is of a softer constitution, who's stepping outside of their realm to be like, okay, I'm gonna watch a horror movie, and they go and they watch this by themselves, and they leave. Their life isn't going to be the same when they get home, because all that stuff that they dealt with up until that point is now going to be in 3D. and they're going to be scared of every goddamn thing that's happening. Them roaches are going to be a band playing in their house. This is some good scary shit.
This is a movie that if you watch it, you're gonna have to watch a comedy afterwards so you can
watch some Care Bears, some Transformers with Optimus Prime dying, the animated series or something like that.
He said put it on Lifetime and hope you get to go to sleep.
Watch
right, put on some some Amen or something like that. You know, some
put on some Sherman Hemsley in this motherfucker.
Yes, right. You be okay.
No. Shout out to Sherman Hemsley.
Oh man,
I know he's passed away and all that, but ICP had many things to say about him, and I wish I would have got to spend some time with him right there towards the end. And yeah, that's a rough story. You need to look all that up. Anybody?
Oh man, his musical career was awesome, bro. You remember his music videos?
Sherman Hemsley made music.
George Jefferson. Yes. He's got a whole music video and everything, dude. He's got like dances and shit like that and the whole thing, dude, bro. You ain't seen this shit?
I thought you were saying he had like an album or something.
He did.
I had no clue.
I'll look at
it. He had a whole musical career, bro. He was on the whole scene back in the day and stuff like that, on the night shows and all that stuff, performing and everything. Yeah, man. He was getting it on. That's why he used to dance so good, because he'd be on stage and shit. He'd be having a gold suit on and shit like that. He'd be fucking doing that shit, man. He had the dancer girls, everything. He was
You know what I never understood, talking about Sherman Hemsley?
What?
I never in my life ever ran into anyone who ever burned beans on a grill, because they just fall through. They're just all too small. They fall through the little. I heard that song. I'm like, that don't make no sense. Beans don't burn on the grill. No shit. No shit.
They burned in the grill.
Yeah.
I think he performed once on Arsenio Hall or some shit.
He didn't even hear anything about the beans.
I did hear about the beans, but I don't know who's putting beans on a fucking grill.
The Jeffersons.
Oh, that's right, from the theme song.
Beans don't burn on the grill.
I get it now.
40 years later.
So look, to our listeners that aren't going to watch this movie, and it starts off, there's this little kid, it's the mom and the dad, and it's actually the dad is the investigator from The Conjuring. It's the same actor,
Ed Warren,
the guy that played Ed Warren.
He finagled his way from this movie into that series, or this series into that series.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
And then the mom is Moira McTaggart from the X-Men, and she's like the hot mom from Neighbors, the hot what's the word I'm looking for? Suburban mom from the Neighbors.
She was very nice.
She's pretty.
She was very
hot. She ain't got no ass.
She was a good mom. She was a good mom.
I'm not saying she's hot. I'm saying the character she was playing was portraying. I'm sorry, I forgot the quotes. The hot mom.
Okay.
Whew. Yeah.
Because there was no ass in it.
Okay. Right, I didn't get that vibe.
So
this was a very no nalga movie, and that in itself was scary. The first time they did a whole shot where she was walking across the screen sideways, I was like, oh, there was no ass, yo.
Man, it was not.
So it's the mom and the dad, the grandma and the son. And then the son, you know, there's little creepy things going on and this and that, blah, 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 blah. And the kids drawing these scary pictures and, hanging on the wall. Parents, you gotta monitor the shit your kids are drawing. I know some of y'all just like take them and pretend you're going to hang it up on the refrigerator and some shit and all that. But you got to actually look what they're doing. He was drawing this demon nightcrawler looking devil tail, red face, scary ass motherfucker long before any of this stuff happened. And nobody was like, what was his name? No, Dalton. Little Dalton's, got an imagination. Where do you get that from? Nothing. They were just like, yeah, whatever, kid, fuck off.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
those were normal drawings.
No. Well, what threw him off was that they saw the pictures of him flying with the cape and everything else like that too, because he always wore his cape, but it was, I thought it was all harmless. When you really think about it, to the point to where he really started to do that type of stuff, at that type of age, most kids draw it. I don't know.
Did he have a cape in his drawing? I think he
did.
Are you
His-
are you pulling to me and talking about Brightburn and talking
No,
about
no, he had a
movie?
cake. He used to have a he. Go ahead, Deb.
one that said, "Last night I saw myself sleep, and then I flew away,
Then
and
I
it
flew
was
away. Yep.
him just like Superman."
Well, we need to talk about Brightburn one of these days.
You know what those drawings were?
Crayons,
Insidious. I'm sorry.
man. Gentlemen and lady, I want to point out something as we're talking about this, as I'm trying to also break down the movie. We've been getting some decent hits on TikTok, and there's been some TikTok. Apparently, they've got an algorithm, not an algorithm, a filter that blocks stuff and all that. And they've blocked some comments, and I've read some of them. And apparently, our discussion about the track-suited Power Ranger ninjas at the end of 28 Inches Later
Oh my God.
garnered the response of small-minded response from these people.
We're talking about these people.
Yes,
Us?
first of all, who are you calling these people?
Who's these people? I know they ain't talking about tracksuit game.
No,
I know they ain't talking. Look, look,
they're not talking about your tracksuit. They're talking about the tracksuits at the end of the 28 Years Later movie.
They're saying that we were being suitist.
Yes.
That this
Whatever.
is a suitist podcast.
And I just wanted to point out, Deborah wanted to point out also, this is just, what is this, Deborah?
This is our opinion.
It's just our opinions. We're not professional
Reviewist.
reviewists or whatever or anything like that. And complaining about us. And Deborah was mad. She was mad. She's like, I can't believe we blah, 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 blah. And I said, hey, calm down, love. Calm down. Just the same way we're giving our opinion about a film that, helped pay for hundreds of people to eat and live, and it took months to make and all that. Somebody spent the same amount of time to say that we had small brains on our podcast, where it's just the four of us bullshitting together because we like talking.
that's cool to think of it like that.
Yeah. This is them sharing their opinion, which fucking sucks. But,
Man, let me, bro.
No, but no. I appreciate the interaction. Thank you very much, person, whoever you are. I didn't even memorize your name before TikTok got rid of you.
I forgot that. I forgot you guys still had that stuff. TikTok's still around? They still use that thing?
Yeah. Hey, TikTok.
I think they just
TikTok
re-up.
likes us.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think
I
they
did not
got a
know.
whole new shipment of time.
TikTok likes us, and apparently they don't like people talking about us.
TikTok's
Oh.
watching our back.
Yeah, they got it.
Take to the top.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Somebody getting paid 15 cents an hour in China is watching our back. So it's all good.
Hey, that's all I can ask for there. It's only
They like
some
their conversations about the
No,
movies.
so the movie, it's the mom, the dad, the grandma, and the kid, Dalton. And, little weird things happening here and there. Dalton falls down, and then, Dalton got hurt. He hit his head. He's semi-lucent. Let's lay him down and tell him to take a nap.
Yeah, I didn't understand that part. He had like a bruise on his forehead, and then you're gonna have him go to sleep.
Yeah, you don't put them to bed when they got something on their head.
No. I learned that the hard way. That day I knocked myself out, and I was laying on the kitchen floor, and the wife and I, when I came up, and when I came to, the wife would just kept talking to me all night long. She wouldn't let me go to sleep.
Then, yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not supposed to go to sleep.
Yeah, I had a concussion.
Because
So-
then if you go to sleep, you might go into the.
You might go sleep. Go night-night,
might go
bye-bye.
Yeah.
So
she was 100% right.
If I was the mother or the father in this movie and the kid hit the head and then we laid him down and I had to keep him up, what I would do is slap him until his haircut changed. Because what the fuck was that?
Man.
His hair, you know what that was? It was Insidious.
Oh, trigger warning.
Oh yeah, you can't do
Man.
that.
His
The
hair coat,
fictional
his hair
abuse
was
happened.
bedraggled. If it
Josh-
was sound, it would be a cacophony.
Josh and Renee Lambert are apparently part of, founding members of Team Fuck Them Kids. Because it was like, oh, you had this big knot in your head,
It was
and then it's
ugly, too.
like purple and black and yellow, and then like purple and yellow again. Just all blur. right there.
That kid, he should have went to the
Go
doctor.
Mimi.
Man,
Go
go to
Mimi. You
sleep.
go sleep.
He did. That gave me a trigger. I was triggered on that.
And I don't blame you. And then the next day, Dalton won't wake up. Why?
What do you think? Why?
It's not a coma.
That nigga dead.
They go to the hospital and the doctor's like, well, there seems to be nothing wrong with him. He just doesn't like you motherfuckers. He doesn't want to wake up.
I would slap the shit out of his ass.
Everything else is perfectly fine. His intestines and his
He's got
You know,
16
outer
shades of
inner
purple on his head. It's cool though.
I would have been like, dog, get your little motherfucking ass up. On that shit.
Got all that money to buy the house in one day, but can't get a doctor to look at the fucking kid right.
He did look at the kid right. It was his whole mama thing with that whole plan that she had to do where she removed his doggone memory. I don't understand why they did that shit. That shit was so fucking stupid.
We'll get to there. We'll get to there shortly. And then they take him home, and they're going through the whole things as you would do with a person that's bedridden and all that. And they're explaining all that with the nurses. And this is great writing. It pulls you into it. Anybody that's experienced that type of situation or is afraid to experience that type of situation, it's pulling you in by the heartstrings. And then once you get the emotionality of it, Smokey, through dealing with, the kid being sick, then you're noticing the little Dutch boy. You're noticing all the little ghost things, the shadows in the windows and all that. And I don't remember. What was the first big scare? Was it the little Dutch boy in the corner?
No, that was at the second house.
The guy.
Monitor. The baby monitor. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So the first time she hears noises and she's just standing there and not doing anything, and then the baby starts yelling, and then she runs up.
There's like a one-sided conversation.
The second time she hears she actually hears the man talking, and then instead of walking, if I was in the house by myself with a baby and I heard a man talking on her monitor, that the monitor is in the baby's room, I would not be waiting by the door to see what happens. I would be going straight. I would be getting a bat or
she was
whatever.
There peeping game. She wasn't moving. She was like, "What? Maybe I could make out what he's saying in an hour." She didn't move.
They slowed it down. Slowed it down for you
Charter
guys.
Member of Team FTK. She was like, "I barely knew you. You've only been around a few years." Peace.
That was her moment. That was her moment when she was like, "Fuck them damn kids."
She's like, "I got to make another one. It's cool."
It's been a good run. That's what I always say. It's been a good run. I mean, we get another one.
Tax rebate wasn't all what I thought it was going to be. So
I mean, we didn't have them that long anyway. I mean, we could start another one.
I haven't been able to write no good music since these motherfuckers been around.
That baby cried through the whole movie.
Yeah, right.
And then when she saw the man in her room later on, she started screaming and ran the other way and fucked the baby in the crib.
Left the baby in the crib.
Man.
with fucking scary ass Glenn Danzig looking motherfucker. Just
Oh my God.
And she still got a brand new house.
She was lost. She panicked. She didn't know what she was doing no more. That was above her pay grade. Let's be honest. For somebody that does not embroidered in any of that stuff, and all that stuff starts hitting you like that, and you think you're losing your damn mind.
And then the husband staying in the school until like 8 p.m. and he gets kicked out by the custodians, and then he stops off at Ojos Locos and stays there for a couple hours.
Eat some tacos.
Grade test.
You want grade papers? What's that taco sauce on your shirt from?
And now I know Cobweb hasn't been to Ojos Locos if the first thing he's thinking about is tacos. Yeah.
No, I don't know what that is, but I'm thinking about tacos. It's Taco Tuesday. That's what we're having tonight.
Yes, we did.
So I think that's part of the depth of the storytelling, that it's only for people who are critically thinking. Like, there's a direct threat to the baby. She spent too long trying to address it. She gets in there. and the voice yells, and she dips out the room and leaves the fucking baby with the voice. At the least, there's a voice that's all that's apparent to her, which there's a source for the voice, which means that there's an immediate danger. And she's like, "Pew! Fuck that baby."
She was done.
Oh man,
She was done.
so then things get carried awayer, and we find out that I can't remember after the big scare and all that. That's when the mom, the grandmother, brings in an old friend of hers, kind of like a ghost hunter type person. And I don't know why I didn't catch it the first time we saw this movie, but she's like, "Oh, I've known your mom for many years," and all this stuff. And it's like, wait a minute, how does my hippie ass mom know this ghost hunter so well? And stuff like that.
She brought in the duo first, though. Remember, they were like,
Yes, the two guys.
We're the vanguard. The
Them
comic
boys
relief.
right there, them my boys.
She brought in the geek squad. That's what she did.
Yeah.
Oh, dude's always eating something.
They were either
Always
Mormons,
eating something.
they were either Mormons or Geek Squad. So
Or they were Mormon geeks.
This
Mormon
movie
spirit.
reminded me of kind of
Poltergeist.
Ah,
I knew you were gonna say it.
Yeah, I can see that. That was the trio. I can see that.
Look.
This house.
That's how we look. Right, where's it at? Oh, focus.
What is that?
That's the three. That's how we look on my screen right there. That was a great treat for any audio listeners of the pod.
Yeah, that was excellent. It sounded great.
Well, let me tell you something. Go ahead, Josh.
When Geek Squad number 2 guy,
He's taking pictures.
no, not when he's taking pictures, but when he's got the headache and he's got his head down on the white tile.
Oh, with the meat.
With the meat, that's an homage to the steak, the crawling steak, not the chicken, not the leg, the drumstick with the maggots on it, but the crawling steak on the white tile is supposedly an homage to the poltergeist. I'm getting old. I'm putting the poltergeist.
I can see that.
So
Man.
they bring them in, and Deborah, that was the scene you're talking about, and they're talking a whole bunch of jargon and a whole bunch of it could be the receivers in your wall and the Wi-Fi and the copper wiring and everything like that. And he's using this. What were those things called? Where it had the little slide in it. And
Viewmasters.
The Viewmaster.
It's like a modified Viewmaster. Thank you, Cobweb. Thank you.
That's how you get ghosts. That's how you get that proof. That's that science.
And they're all like, nah, like these people are full of shit. And then he gets that one shot. And then there's that Victorian age kind of outfit, scary clown mom looking whatever in the corner.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, like twins from like some junk from out of like Stephen King, you know what I'm saying? From what was it? The flick with the hotel.
Shining?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I liked how whenever they showed any of the ghosts, like they would do it like a fast like a picture thing, and like the first shot would be like them looking all serious, and then they would have big smiles.
Like, ha ha.
Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that stop animation or something like that they did. It was like a quick like that.
That was scary. That made it even scarier. And
yeah, because they just got up and moved real quick.
Yes.
You know, they just like boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? There's no travel. They just go to the spot where they wanted to and just do it. That's just scary enough. That shit is fucking, ooh.
I don't know. But now that Cantu's not there and I'm watching his curtain just waving, that's a sealed room with no windows or nothing like that. No AC vent. That's his sauna room where he trains at.
He trains there?
Yes.
That's what's up.
There's no moving air in that room. Those curtains are moving. I was just telling everybody about your sauna room there that has no ventilation whatsoever, completely sealed, hermaphroditically sealed.
Hermetically. Yeah, it's hermaphroditically sealed.
Right.
Hermaphroditically sealed.
Can neither nor enter. Oh, there we go. See? I told you. Shut up.
See, this is the part of the movie. This is the part of the movie where really that I would have probably bolted on. when they had told him what was going on and everything else like that, and that damn demon had went to the room and had fucked up the sheets and everything like that in the bedroom and stuff like
Lipstick
that.
demon. Yes.
The handprint.
Let me take that right then when I would have went up and got me a pack of Newports. Boom.
I just got it. I got it faster than the beans on the grill, but I got it.
That's that corner store moment right there.
Right. I got to go get me a pack of squares right quick, baby. I'll be right back.
Yeah. And I'm gonna take all my clothes with me too, because it's cold outside.
Fuck them damn clothes.
Good. Fuck them.
Clothes, fuck them house, fuck all these motherfuckers.
What about the part where they hear a whole bunch of crashing and everything, and then they go into the room, and the whole room is like all trashed, and Dalton's laying on the ground.
Yep.
But then he doesn't believe his wife. Like, he saw that, and then he doesn't believe her, and then he sends Elise. Elise is the other lady.
So Elise shows up afterwards, and she's the after they use the Viewmaster to take the picture of the ghost. He's like, it's true, call her. She needs to show up. And as soon as she walks, yes, she's the taller, younger version of this house is clear.
Yes.
Yeah, don't go into the light, Carol Ann. She's that version of it, and she's cooler in the. Even though, spoiler alert, she dies in this one, she's in the other ones. Well, because this, like I said, this is the third movie. You got to watch
the other one.
Yeah, you got to watch like the second movie, then the fourth
do
movie.
that. They have a habit of doing that with these series. This director or the writers, they put out the movie and it's like, oh, this is really great. Let's take it back so that we could develop the story that led to this movie, and then let's go to the one before that one. The whole Annabelle thing. They were like 85 movies in, and they were like, let's show them how this all began.
I had way too much of that with Memento. Memento's, just Christopher Nolan can do it, but other motherfuckers, no. I'm sorry.
I believe that it was all written all together. It was all one story written, and they just chopped it up. It has to be, because some of the stuff and the nuances that they have from one movie to another and all cross over in so much ways to the other story or something like that. It's kind of like it had to be written like that. The way they dropped Insidious, there were so many crossovers from the other movies and stuff like that in certain situations that it led you to believe that pretty much at all the main storyline was all pre-written as one long thing. It's like they Star Wars'd it. George Lucas did.
I would just.
Oh, no. Don't even bring fucking Star Wars up the way that they bastardized everything and then ruined all the. I mean, bullshit. George Lucas did not write all the prequels ahead of time. When 1977, when Star Wars 4: A New Hope came out, it wasn't that. It didn't even have the crawl in the front of it. It didn't have any of the story. It was just Star Wars, just zero. And then it made money, and he was like, oh. And then months after the movie came out, when it was still in the theater, that's when they put the Star Scroll in and said that it was part 4.
No, they didn't put part 4 until Phantom Menace came out. They couldn't have, because Return of the Jedi was the third. When the Phantom Menace came out, that's when they added the whole 4, 5, 6 thing.
In the crawl though, in the crawl it says episode 4.
Yeah. It's okay.
But not in the titles or anything. Like, we're not gonna go over there right now.
Anyway, so
the lipstick demon. A lot of people, and this is also another IMDb fact. A lot of people thought there was blood on the handprints that you were talking about on the savanas on the sheets, right? It wasn't. It was because how he applicates the application of the lipstick. So his hands are covered in lipstick. It wasn't blood on the sheets. It was lipstick as he was crawling to get to Dalton.
That's how I saw it too. I mean, when you find out, what he was doing and stuff like that. So then, I was like, okay, that's what that was, because it didn't seem like it was blood.
Using, goddamn.
I know, right?
He had that junk. He had to pick that shit up at Costco or some shit.
I don't think he even gets the stick. He's like, let me get just a bucket of that wax. And then he must have been like that. And then he did his whole face too. He was,
I personally, No, no,
He's got a
I
community
think
lipstick.
It's the shared lipstick.
no. I think when Puffy went allegedly and bought gallons and gallons and gallons of baby
He
oil,
picked up some of that lipstick too.
well, each one of them came with a free stick of lipstick, and he was like, "The fuck I want this for? Hey, devil, you got anybody that you do? All right, here you can have all these. I just want all the baby oil, allegedly."
And the devil, the demon
What
said,
the hell?
"Is this the Insidious number 43? I've been looking for this. They don't have it at Ulta." Yep.
That'd have been good.
It's Mambo number
That'd have
5
been
and
good.
Insidious number 43.
I'd have been up after the second house in that room, and then old girl talking about me crossing over to that other place to go pick him up and shit.
Yes,
Nope.
exactly what you're saying. So come to find out that Dalton is a master at astral projection.
Astral
And it
projection,
wasn't
and he
that
got
the
lost.
house. Yes, it wasn't
Yep.
the house that was haunted. It was Dalton that was haunted. What the fuck
Did
was
you hear
that?
that? It stopped.
That sounded like a shriek, an
It was
insidious
a plane.
shriek.
That was a plane
that
flying
stopped.
overhead.
Are you sure
And
it didn't
stopped.
blow up? That sounded like a plane in distress.
If it blew up, you hear by now.
Fuck. But
that was a screech.
So come to find out that Elise is like, the reason why I've known your mom so well is because we've known each other for a long time. I'm like, yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
I've known your mom so long because we've known each other for a long time. Damn, the science
Right.
just busting it out, yo.
Please break it
It's
down,
the
man.
mathematics.
Come to find out that Patrick Wilson's character, Josh Lambert, he had this spirit, which is the old lady that she would take photos of him, and each photo she was getting closer and closer and closer, and come to find out that he was also an expert astral plane visitor, whatever.
Astral projector.
Projectionist, astral projectionist.
No, projectionist would mean that he was showing other people it. Projector means that he was taking advantage of it. I'm making this as I go along.
He was
Insidious.
Yeah.
He was ghost sleepwalking. That's what he was doing. He was
I didn't-
pre-ghost.
Deep sleepwalking.
I
What do you
really think I really think that this is probably I don't want to go into the other stuff, but this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that they made with this whole thing as the family by erasing this fucking man.
Yeah. Oh, so we're saying like we're in the world now.
Yes. I think even with now, even in this movie, I thought that it would have been better if he should have been trained to use his abilities. If he would have been trained to use his abilities,
Like
he would have been
Neo.
able to protect himself. He would have been able to explain to his son and know what the signs were. Erasing somebody's memory and God-given gift like that is insane. It's insane. You have a special ability that you have that no one else can do, and you're going to tell them to erase it out of my mind?
He might have been
It's
a
not-
projection ninja by this point, and then it wouldn't have been a problem. He'd be like, "Oh, they got the kid. I'll be right back."
And then he could have
Exactly.
jumped off the rocks in a rainbow colored tracksuit and beat the shit out of a 28-inch dick zombie with his astral Doctor Strangeness.
His actual projection got that 28-inch dick too, so there would have been a whole different kind of battle. You don't even
So Cobweb,
you don't even
I
want to
hate
know.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I need Cantu to back me up on this one. What you just said right now, it wasn't. It wasn't. What did you say that it was? How did you describe it? That they didn't teach him these astral plane ninja skills?
Right, he could have been an astral plane ninja if they hadn't erased his memory.
No,
They
but Cobweb,
could have
you
fostered
said
He
it
could have
was-
been
his
Doctor
ability.
Strange.
And by the
Exactly.
time 25, 30 years later, he's got a kid and there's a problem, he could have just been like, yo, this is my thing. I'll be right back. And then come back with Dalton, and maybe he'll have a better haircut when he comes out the upside down.
So this is what I was trying to work my way to, but I forgot the word that you used, Cobweb, and it was great. I don't know. Did you say it was? I forgot what you said. Was it idiotic, or that they didn't train him? and I was gonna go, Cantu, I need you to back me up on this, and I was gonna say it's not idiotic that they didn't trade him. It's
Asinine.
fuck.
Insidious.
Thank you, Deb.
Oh
No,
man,
dude.
I miss my own
No,
joke.
because they robbed. Wow.
Shit.
You know what that was? Fucked up.
Wait. But no, you know what it was? It was the
You got the fried egg award there, Cantu.
Bacon Fat Award tonight. Oh shit!
So
But
they
yeah, go
send
ahead,
the
Josh.
no, go ahead, Cobb. I'm sorry.
I don't understand why they would do that because it didn't make any sense to me at all. It really was a bad idea.
Well, I think they did that because they couldn't overpower her and they didn't know how to beat her. And if the only thing was that every time they take a photo, she's closer and closer and closer, which is kind of weird right here. So let's program the kid to never take photos again. So does that mean
no? It was from him traveling. Him traveling was making her come closer and closer to him. So the photos were actually, you were actually seeing how much his traveling was bringing her to him. So I don't
see. That's how much we think alike. That's where I was leading to right there. Like, why are you going to hide the photos? Now you don't know where the progression is. You don't know where she's at. And what does that have to do with blocking him from Doctor Stranging it out at night and going off into the further and further away? Now you don't know what he's doing.
Could have been fucking Doctor Strange, dude.
I think it might have been like
superpowers.
I don't know anything about the family.
Superpower.
He might not have had a dad. Maybe that's the mom, and she didn't know anything. Like there might not have been no history. Like her son might have been the first time, and she didn't want to fucking deal with that shit at all. So once the situation was handled, she might have been like, you know what? I don't ever want to deal with this ever again. He shouldn't have to deal with this ever again. Let's close this door and let's move on with our life. I think that might have been that. There might not have been a history in the family. That could be a whole nother 4 movies where her stepdad, you know what I mean, had the power or something like that she didn't know about it. She just didn't want to have to deal with it, or for her baby to have to deal with it anymore. I think that's why they erased it.
It's generational. Team FPK. She was like, I don't want to see it. If I don't see it, it's not happening.
Whatever doesn't kill you, make you stronger, bro. That was like it would have, if he was able to overcome that like he did when he was a kid and be able to have those same powers and build upon those, I mean, what the fuck,
That's
man?
4 more movies.
Who takes somebody's superpowers away? Who the fuck was this broad? Fucking Lex Luthor and shit with fucking kryptonite? What the fuck?
Selfish ass mom. Selfish ass mom.
She had her superpowers. And she got to keep hers, but he doesn't get to keep his.
So this is not something shocking for me. I mean, some people might take this the wrong way and all that, but if you've ever seen Encanto or Coco, you would kind of know that, you know, the mom's taking certain liberties and stuff like that. It just happens, and then you can't talk about it. And then, you know, I'm not saying nothing. Mom, don't listen to the podcast. I'm just saying. And to my older sister that does listen to the podcast, you better not tell Mom. That's
I ain't getting involved.
Love you, but shut up.
Shit.
Oh man. So they decide to let Josh Lambert loose into the further to go and get Dalton. He goes and finds Dalton. There's a scary demon guy and everything like that. And one of the scenes in the movie before they send him out, which I didn't get, was so Renee's kind of believing the whole thing the whole time, and then all of a sudden she doesn't believe it anymore. And then they have the scene where they pops up behind him. It's all scary and everything like that. And then she's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, go save him." And so he goes and saves him, brings the kid back. This is where we're jumping into the spoiler part of the end, and then we'll talk about how we felt about it. And when they come back, Dalton's there, and he's eating the spaghetti up, and he's hungry, he's tired. And then in the front room, it's just Elise and Josh. And they're talking, and he's coming back and everything like that. During the whole time he was away, he's also fighting with the evil woman in the black wedding dress, you know. in the further, also with the Nightcrawler looking demon and
all the other spirits,
everybody else. That was cool though with the the Geek Squad guys when they're shining the light on him, trying to keep him. They're leading him to the light. Go to the light.
Yeah. That whole scene with him and the witch in the mirror looking at each other.
That was cool.
So he finally gets out, and then Elise looks at his hands, and she's like, "What?" And then she snaps a picture of him, and then he just loses his shit. You know, I don't like pictures. Blah 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 blah. Chokes her out, kills her dead, just like. And then
like
Renee walks up, and she's like, "What happened?" And then boom, and then you hear the violins and all that. That was not the guy from Deliverance. That was the violin impersonation I was trying to do.
That junk was hard.
I was not feeling like Ned Beatty in The Forest. Allegedly.
That shit was hard. That ending was so fucking hard.
Said. Speaking of Lex Luthor, Mr. Luthor. Anyways, you see that? Because Ned Beatty was the guy with Lex Luthor. Okay. Sorry, I'm turning to talk to Deborah. If you're wondering who I'm talking to. Okay, so now let's go and talk about it. Now this kind of coincides with what you're saying, Cobweb. Maybe it was already written ahead of time, and because the way it ends is a total cliffhanger.
Yeah, it is. Well, the way it ended just like that, where you didn't know, it's like what's going to happen here, and with she looked at that camera, and you're like, okay, what's going to happen? It made you really think about that. There's going to be more to come. This movie made you want more. It made you want to come out and see more and more of this story. You wanted to know what was going to happen. And you wanted to know how come these dumbass people wanted to take superpowers away from people when they didn't have any, because they're just dumbasses. Okay?
They're powerless.
So let's talk about our favorite scenes from the movie. Who wants to go first?
Our favorite or scariest?
Either. That could be the same thing.
Well, the part that always sticks out with me is when they're sitting at the table and the mom is explaining to Josh that she believes the wife, Renee, right?
Yes.
Renee. Because she had a dream, and she starts explaining the dream, and while she's explaining that monster thing pops up on the side of his head.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh shit. God damn.
When I first saw that at the theater, I screamed so loud, like I jumped off of my seat.
You're gonna make Cobweb go buy a new electric car tomorrow.
No, dude. Bro, let me tell you, I didn't see it at first, right? Because I have this little screen on my computer, right? So I'd be moving it around from time to time. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as I turned it around the movie, I was like, oh, man, he fucking with me, Josh. He fucking with me, man. Y'all sober and shit.
Yeah, when they brought in the clairvoyant lady and old red face, she saw him and it was just a flash in the back, and then you had the horns and the strings, just a sting, just boop. Yeah. The first time he flashed when she walked in there, man, he was behind the shoulder. That right there, that was my favorite thing. It didn't necessarily cause me to jump back scared. Allegedly, I sat there stoically. I was unentertained. I found no humor in it. I found no arousing of my spirit. There was no poop in my pants at all when that happened. The conglomeration of all the effects of seeing that thing happen, it's had no effect on me at all. So I shouldn't have said nothing at all, allegedly.
The fuck?
That was great. That was my favorite part. When he just half of his face behind the head and the sting, that was fantastic shit. Iconic.
And the mom started
that right there, god damn it.
Right.
I didn't just poop allegedly.
Yeah, mine was that part when it was the whole rescue part of him getting his son. When he finally finds him and he gets the gets the chains off of him and he's trying to get out and everything else like that. That was the best to me. When they're trying to escape together throughout of that stuff, and he's grabbing him and he's like trying to get him there and he can't make it and he's tired and he's carrying his son through all this shit, to get him to the house and shit. That junk right there had me going right
Why
there.
did he send him off again? when they're in the upside down and they get to the kitchen, he's like, "Hey, you go over there." I think
Like,
that's where
he
the
was tired.
overtake
He was too
happened.
no,
tired.
he was tired because he was holding on to the counter. Like if he was tired or maybe he tripped or something.
But it was a
He
physical.
was tired.
This is the spiritual thing. He went
You
in
don't get
there to
tired.
spiritually save the boy. So his deal was to grab and hold on to the boy and come back into this world. So they get to the part where they finally get to the kitchen and he's like, "You go that way. I'm going to stay here." I think that that's where he was so weak. Yes, he was tired, but I think that's where his weakest point in his trip in the upside down, where he could get taken over by that spirit that killed the old lady when they finally came out. I think that was the point. His whole point
He
was to
did have
grab
a
his
fuck up
son
trip.
and hold on for dear life and come back. And he was like, "You go away now." That's
Well, you see that exactly what both of y'all were leading to. You see that where he's dealing with all those other spirits and all that, and then the woman in the black dress is there, right? And then everybody's like, no, go to the line, blah blah. And everybody's giving everything they got. Even the Geek Squad guys, they're holding the lights. And I'm telling Deborah, I was like, what's wrong with him? Like, why is he going all over the place? They were getting attacked externally outside of the outside. There you go. Outside of the further. And they were still trying to concentrate on bringing him back. And then you see the woman in black just disappear backwards into the darkness. Whoosh, right?
Yeah.
Where you would assume that she was gone and he makes the way out. But really, when you think about it, through his point of view, is that the soul's pulling him away from her as she's going into his body?
Yeah. That was fucked up. That was so,
because that's what we learned at the end of the movie. If you go to IMDb, the first thing you're gonna see is the of the witch and all that. And that's
oh my goodness.
Oh wait,
yeah.
That's a parallel. Like when the mother, when she was scared, when the baby was in the crib, she heard the voices in the baby monitor. She went up and got super scared, and then she jetted on the baby. He jetted his baby when they were in the further.
Woo. Man,
They
that
both
witch
did the
right
same
there,
shit, the mother
boy.
and the father. She did that here in this world, and he did it inside there.
That witch was fucking fucked up.
I think that's
I
the
do
whole
want
point.
Seriously,
Yeah,
dude.
yes.
That creature doesn't that character doesn't get as much credit as it allows. Because if you think about it, it was in 2 movies. With this
It's more
joint
than two.
no, I'm talking about for this Insidious thing that they had to deal with to get rid of this damn thing.
She's in more than 2 movies. Ain't she?
Which other? She's in this one and then the next one after this one.
There's 5 movies.
She's in both prequels.
There's 5 Insidious joints.
So she's in 4 of the movies though. So she's in the first 2 prequels, and then this movie being the 3rd movie, and then the next movie being the 4th movie, and then I'm not sure I haven't seen the 5th one. I don't know if she's in that one. But we also learned that she is not a she is a he in the movies also. That's where
it's a man that plays the part.
No, not only is it a man that's playing the part, but the character is male also.
Oh.
This isn't the climate to get into this kind of nitpicking.
No. I mean,
I'm okay.
At the time when it came out, that was like and now it's like but
it didn't matter. I didn't care. It was scary enough as it was.
On IMDb.
On the IMDb. IMDb.
On the IMDb.
Yeah.
He died last year.
Who?
The man that played
the witch.
The witch.
Oh,
that was a straight Rocky Horror Picture Show right there. That joker, the way he was dressed up in that thing, that shit was fucking scary.
Let's see.
They don't have a picture of him.
They don't have a picture of him?
Yeah, he was freaking scary in that shit.
He was Philip Friedman.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Philip Friedman. Not that, saying his name on our podcast is much of anything.
Talking about Danzig? Tall Danzig?
No, that would be Jay LaRose was Danzig.
Who are you talking about? Oh, the dude that played the witch.
In The Witch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Joseph Bashara is the lipstick-faced demon.
That's what they call that red face? Lipstick face?
Lipstick. Because that's why it's red. Because he's all completely black, like the void.
Right.
And then the red, the only thing you can see is his claws, his teeth, his eyes, and his hooves. So that's why he smears the wax lipstick.
You
Man,
remember
that
in
junk was
Annabelle,
fucking
I was
crazy.
talking about the black demon that y'all didn't see?
What if it's the same thing?
What if it's the same thing? I said it looked like a Baphomet joint, and this dude got the horns, and the only reason he's red here is because of the lipstick. It might be the same dude, the same
Hold on,
entity.
Let me travel to the world of TikTok. And I want to read another comment. Let's break away from all this scariness for a moment.
And Cobweb got a thought.
Oh, man, it's a
ahead,
big
Cobb.
one, bro. And I want y'all to think about this as Josh, you pulling this shit up. Listen to this. I want y'all to think about it. Which franchise is better, Conjuring or Insidious?
Conjuring.
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 There we go. No, so you got more characters. I mean, but it's both of them are really fucking good.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna watch the second one after we finish.
I think they removed their comments. Those motherfuckers.
So what, man?
No. There was a I wanted to read it on the pod.
It was I don't know erase that junk. They probably embarrassed
somebody
anyway.
named Dave commented, "I'm intrigued." Okay, nice. Thanks, Dave. Shout out to you.
Hey, nice to know that. They should be intrigued. It's cast of the pod.
This one goes back to 28 years later. It's not as good as the original, but better than part 2. Instead of complaining, they need to let them work and see what they do. Man. I mean, it's the apex of 1 and 2. Just because it's the beginning of 3, 4, and 5 doesn't mean. Anyways, somebody else says, "Let them cook. It's going to be a blast. Buckle up, kid." I can respect that. No, but somebody said something on the Baphomet one that I wanted to read.
Oh,
look. Wizard Lizard said, we're talking about maybe we should do this. Recap the comments from the previous episode. Wizard Lizard said, talking about the warrants to get into people's houses, really it depends on how the individual views a warrant. If they truly believe that a piece of paper signed by a judge secures entry, then it could work. But if it's someone who believes, damn my phone. But if it's someone who believes that a warrant is a breach of privacy, then it shouldn't count as an invitation.
No.
Wizard Lizard.
It's the personal belief word.
Wait, no, because let me tell you something. There's a difference. There is a big difference when they come to your house with a warrant. They don't ask to come in. They just come in. They say warrant and come in. Okay. You don't even have to be there. And they can just come in. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's your house with you there, it doesn't work that way. You have to still give an invitation. They can't come in there with the warrant. No, I'm going to your house and I'm going to do whatever I want to. Nope, even though they're not there because the threshold block.
But if they're an entity that can't do that, if the evil can't enter your house without your permission, then if they're presenting you with a warrant, they have to convince you that there's a power in that to allow that into there. Remember, this is about like the vampire coming into your house. If the vampire had a warrant, are they going to be able to come in? Only if you let them. This isn't
the warrant
about the police. This is about the vampire.
I agree with Wizard Lizard where it was the belief of the owner of said structure.
Of the structure that the warrant would be strong enough.
If the person's mind is weak enough to accept that, then the warrant is strong enough.
A lot of times, though, when people they say, "I'll have a warrant, let us in," people are like, "Nope, I'm not gonna let you in my house."
But then again, if bringing in the social climate that we were talking about earlier, that we have to tiptoe around. I mean, if the vampire's knocking on the door, we've got a warrant, and then like the person opens the door and then puts a camera in their face and is like, "I need to talk to a supervisor." Then I mean that's a delay right then and there, right then, you know.
So
give me a supervisor.
Yeah, I think it would be a courtesy if they had a warrant and they knocked on the door. That would just be like, that's a waste of their time. They don't need it if they had a warrant. They could kick door. So if it's a knock on the door and somebody says warrant in a world where there's vampires, then it'd be like, yeah, no. How about no?
I don't think it would work.
I like my punchline better than anything else anybody else has said in this entire pod.
Man, you tripping hard, bro. You tripping hard. Hey, what's that?
I forgot.
That was a punch phone, not a punchline.
I think I
what's
hear
that?
it too, Cobweb, but
I hear it back there in the background. What's that noise?
Shut up.
I think what's that noise?
No. Real quick though, on the comment that I was looking for on the Baphomet video,
What was it?
right? Somebody used this. Where'd he go? Somebody was using this vernacular, this phrase that's they were trying to show off their intellect and be all hoity-toity about it, and using a phrase that's basically when somebody's speaking speaking of something that they know nothing of, but using large words. I forgot the process or whatever.
Oh my god!
But yeah, that's what they were saying about what Cantu was saying about the Baphomet situation, and I wanted to take that time in our pod to break it down slowly and use my education and my training and my vernacular and say fuck you.
Oh damn.
Jeez, please,
bro.
I mean, it's just your opinion.
You are a doctor, my man.
Man, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
Man.
I'm dropping my PhD, my Pizza Hut delivery on that shit.
Man,
you need to start
all that going on upstairs and you doing a podcast?
Bro, you know what you need to do? You need
Baphomet.
You need to tag them jokers. You need to tag them jokers at the time, at the place in the podcast when you say "fuck you."
He didn't
like
the
cast of the pod at 28.3 seconds.
They took their comment. They took their comment down. I wanted to say their names, just like I said, Wizard Lizard. Shout out to Wizard Lizard. Thank you. But you're right, Cobweb. Hold on. Let me switch screens and let me go over here. And no, that's not the screen.
You know what? You fuck with me one more time with that shit. Okay.
real quick. Look at my screen. Look at my screen. I'm in San Antonio. You see me?
Yeah.
Now I'm in Mexico.
Oh shit!
Now I'm in clearer Mexico. Now I'm in blurry Mexico. Now I'm back in San Antonio. Did you see that?
There's a Mexican filter.
That's
why is it all brown? I don't understand.
You haven't seen that in Hollywood movies?
It's the Hollywood movies. When they go to Mexico, shit gets brown. Even the air.
Everything is brown.
Even the oxygen is brown.
Not only
is it like this?
Not only half the people, but the light, the oxygen, exactly, everything. It just, hold on.
Even the green is brown.
I'm glad Cantu and Deborah got that one. I will send you some examples, Cobweb, of Mexico. Just like that. Just like
what was that movie? Was it Crash?
Yes.
Yeah. Crash is a perfect example. They go to Mexico throughout the movie and they go and it's the blue filter and then the brown filter. That's just one example, but they always do that. They go down to Mexico and everything's brown. Even the blue is brown.
Like the camera's right here looking at this part of the block, right? But then it moves like 6 houses over and then you drop a brown filter in it. Now you're in Mexico. That's how you save when making movies. Just make it brown. But wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, thank you for listening to us here at the Cast of the Pod. I almost forgot the name of the fucking Cast of the Pod podcast. This is the part of the pod where we bring out the calculator of doom, the motherfucking calculator of doom, el calculadora de doom, and we break down the movie, giving it a 0 to a 10. 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. Who wants to go first today?
I got it.
Cobweb, go ahead.
I'm going to give this movie a 10.
Ooh, right out the gate.
Right out the gate, man.
That's Insidious.
Yes. I'm not going to front on this movie. This movie, to me, it was perfect. I mean, it was really well written. I thought that even for the way they dropped it and it unveiled throughout the entire universe of this whole franchise, the characters, you felt for them, everything came across like you believed it. The actings were great. The screenshots was good. I can't find any flaws in the flick. Honestly, tell the truth, it's a 10. It was perfect. They put a ribbon on this bad baby and call it one. Shit. Fuck it, motherfucker. Goddamn.
Who got shot?
Why we gotta be violent? Violence over here.
Hey, man. When that's it.
Sometimes you just got to booyaka.
Yeah. Booyaka.
Who's next? Deb?
I'll go next. I'm gonna have to agree with Cobb. And I'm gonna give this movie a 10. I really love this movie. This movie scared me. It was scary, and it was the type of jump scares that made me laugh afterwards while I was holding my chest because my heart was pounding.
I can't breathe.
Yep, one of those. And then I had to watch a funny movie afterwards so I wouldn't be scared at night, have bad dreams. So, but yeah, this movie was great. I gave it a 10.
Nice. Taking us to a 20 so far. Cantu?
Okay. Since I've been here and we're discussing these movies that are this ill. Oh, man. Gosh. Should I cut this short?
No. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
So I thought that everything was grand until they got into the further, the upside down. I think they spent too much time, and I really think that it was filler when they showed the little history part where the girl shot up her family on the couch. They didn't need to do that because the guy was already horrified because he was in a part of life that he completely forgot existed, like the nether. There was too much time with that family and the quick smiles. That was good for a jam, but he was there to find the kid, and I think that was scary enough. I think there was 10 minutes wasted in the middle of the movie when he went into the further to try to find the boy. I think they could have made the lipstick demon a whole lot more scarier than just him sharpening his Freddy Krueger fingernails while he's watching over the boy. It looked like he was watching over his...
Josh, I told your ass. I told you.
Watching over the sweatshop.
I told you.
I think that's for me where I lost the whole vibe, the wave that the movie was carrying as far as all the scariness and the carrying of the story and character development. I'm going to give it an 8 because of that, because the upside down, it was just too long. That's the only reason.
Okay, I can see your point there. I did like the scene where he was sharpening his strange Freddy Krueger claws, and he was looking out the glass, and he's like, "Dad, he's watching us," and he's just there like through the glass, and then he's like, "Oh shit, he's looking at us," and then he looks back up there again, and then he's not there, and then he's right behind him, and he's standing there, and really he looked before. I don't remember if at that time they had already done that X-Men movie, but he looked like how Nightcrawler was supposed to look like, and that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except with the devil feet, which happened at what was the name of the place, Deborah?
El Camaroncito.
Yeah, when the devil showed up at El Camaroncito, and in San Antonio, look that up online.
I know the story. You should check it out, Cobweb. We got a story down here. There's
don't scare me like this.
There's further shit down here. It's upside down out here.
But you got like Area 51 out there and shit?
There's something down here. San Antonio got some shit happening that our great-grandparents talked about.
Yeah.
But as I'm trying to lead to my score,
sorry.
I'm just saying.
You did that.
Just saying.
Yeah, you did bring that up.
Yeah, that's true. That's my bad. But my mic stand is falling over. Kukui. I'm gonna give it a 9, which takes us to a 37. Divided by 4. Public education 9.25. So we're giving it a 9.
I can see that.
Pretty good.
That's real respectable. Like,
that's dope, respectable, bro. Put that down in the books.
These movies are fire, man. These movies are fire. The writing, the acting, the music, the atmosphere. Man, I'll walk through the alleys, and I shouldn't be here right now. I've been out there to the real scaries with the real scary humans. These movies are like, oh man, I remember feeling like that. They're really well done.
So the majority of the peoples gave it a 7, and the total average is a 6.8.
Really?
So we disagree with the peoples.
That's what I'm talking about right there, baby. That's when I know we on point. Fuck them motherfuckers. They ain't shit any damn way.
The only other we gave it a 9, right? The next closest to the 9 is 4, 3, 1, and 2. And then going, 8.3% gave it a 9. 8.9 gave it a 10. But 30% of the peoples gave it a 7.
That's because those people
They don't
chew their
understand.
bubble gum backwards. They don't know what they're doing.
No, they don't.
I think it was because they were too scared, and they didn't want to like the movie because it scared them too much.
I think Dad might be right. They a bunch of little panty waist. Probably some millennials.
They were mad. They were mad about their
Anti-waste. That's Insidious.
their cleaning bill, their laundry bill after watching this movie.
Yeah. But going back to where they go into the further, I did like when he goes into the house and that family sitting in the living room and they're just standing there, and he puts the light in their faces and they're just like looking straight. And then the one part where he gets closer to that one girl and she blinks her eyes and he's like, "Oh shit."
And they're all just like,
and then there's the smile.
Yeah.
The smile snap too.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
could see
I love that
but
shit.
What does that have to do with the rest of the story?
Josh,
though?
I fucking told your damn ass about that shit. Keep
Josh.
fucking with me. You keep fucking with me on this shit, and I'm supposed to be over here chilling, and now here you go with this damn man.
That was Insidious. Was there any reference in the movie to the rifle girl, to the shotgun girl? There was a sequence where there was a series of shotguns. It might have gone on into the baby monitor, but it happened and people heard it. And yeah, you got the eyes. You got the dead eyes on that. Good job, you're being Insidious. That scene, I
You wanna look
don't
at you.
I'm
understand.
done, man. Fuck this shit. I'm supposed to be sitting back chilling. I'm gonna go get me some fucking tacos, man. What was?
my whole point was going to be that I forgot to quit unsmiling after we started talking about that, and it got really comfortable after all.
Comfortable my ass. The shit was fucking creepy, motherfucker. Don't be welcome making that goddamn face. God damn.
How do you make your eyes
God,
dead
fuck,
like that,
fuck
dude?
you. I'm fucking done.
Which one's scarier, like seeing him come up from the side of you or the curtains on Cantu?
Those curtains over there.
Today?
He's scared of that shit too.
Joshing up here, making faces and shit.
I didn't even have to tell
Fucking
him to
with me.
shut up. He shut the fuck up once Josh made that face.
Fucking making these goddamn faces. What the fuck, man? And then he's still sitting up here doing this shit. You know,
Okay, I won't smile anymore.
I ain't even looking at the screen no goddamn more for the rest of the goddamn podcast. Okay. I'm gonna look over here at this goddamn Prince fucking album over here and say fucking yeah, okay. All right. You guys keep talking and shit, all right?
All right, y'all. So this has been the Kaz of the Pod podcast. We gave Cobweb. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not looking, motherfucker. I know. No. Don't, you ain't
I just
fucking
want you
getting
to
me.
know, I never meant to cause you any trouble. I never meant to cause you any pain.
Yeah.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look, Josh. I'm not gonna fall for it. No, you can't make me do this.
I've never meant to
Purple
spook
rain.
you in the nether.
Take you to the upside down.
I only want to see you screaming from lipstick demons. Lipstick demons. Lipstick demons.
Oi,
Shit, this is the fucking shit right here. It's fucking True Master album. I'm not even gonna look. I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
Shout out Club 3P. We are the Cast of the Pod podcast. You can find us at whoa, Deborah coughing into the mic.
I turned
Was
completely
Insidious.
around. Sorry guys. Sorry everybody.
The Cast of the Pod podcast. And I think we're done. Anybody want any outros? Anything y'all want to say?
I'm good. I ain't looking at the goddamn screen. Fuck you, man.
The scene
Fucking
in
that
the
shit,
nether
man.
was too long. They didn't need that shotgun scene sequence. They could fill it up with better lipstick demon coverage.
I thought they needed it because it made me scared because you had to see how fucked up that shit really was in there. Because that shit was fucked up in that damn what they call it, the further's
Yeah.
fucked.
So talking about prequels for stuff like that, I hear that they're doing a TV series of the 13 Ghosts from 13 Ghosts. So each individual ghost will get an episode.
Scooby Doo? I thought we already did that.
No.
13
They're
Ghosts.
making a TV show, a
Did
TV
you say
series
Scooby Doo?
of the 13 Ghosts.
Yeah,
Zoink.
13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo.
Didn't the guy from that movie play Shaggy?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was like Scooby Doo.
But all right, so that's neither here nor there. Shout out to everybody that's commenting, even if you're calling us little brain, low IQ people. Fuck you. No, keep on interacting. Y'all are great. Yeah. So until next time, we are the Cast of the Pod podcast. I'm Josh,
I'm Cobweb.
Deb.
I am Cantu.
and you have been warned. Until next time.
Bye,
Peace.
everybody.
Cobweb in the house, baby.
There it goes.